And this is also an affordable wine. At least it's like 13 euros, right? Beer in the shop.
15.
That's the reason you wanted to move here. A lot of sunshine, good wines.
In Cairanne, we have 3 different terroirs. That's really important to know that, because in general, when you taste a Cairanne,
I shot this podcast on location in Cairanne in the Southern Rhône. It's one of the Cru villages of the Southern Rhône, just like Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Gigondas, Tavel. It's a relatively new appellation that only got officially identified as its own AOC in 2016. I think the quality of wines in Cairanne is outstanding. In fact, when it comes to the red wines down south, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Gigondas is right up there. And Vaccaras has some good wines as well, but I think Cairanne is right in third place. I think for a young appellation, these wines are something to pay attention to. They have a slightly different profile than Châteauneuf-du-Pape, but they do have richness. I got a chance to sit down with the president of Cairanne, Laurent Brusset, who also owns Domaine Brusset. He makes wines in Gigondas, makes wines in Resto, and of course Cairanne. He was a ton of fun to talk to. After that, I walked next door to the Caveaux du Cairanne, a wine shop of all the different producers in Cairanne, and sat down with a longtime friend, Edwin, who I met on Clubhouse during the pandemic. I don't know if any of you were on that app. I was running big time wine rooms, and I became close to him. He actually helped procure some samples for my most viewed blind tasting video on the channel about Côte de Rhône. He's the manager of Caveaux du Cairanne, and it was nice to sit down, taste through a number of wines, and he explained some of the producers, some of the processes, and what he loves so much about the village. So I hope you enjoy.
Cairanne.
yes,
I've always been impressed with the wines. I think the quality is really high. Can you tell me a little bit about the size of the appellation, the history behind Cairanne?
thank you to say Cairanne and not Cairanne. Many American or English people say Cairanne, but it's Cairanne. Thank you.
Yeah.
So not Cairanne, it's a new cru since 2016, cru of the Rhône Valley, and we have a typicity of elegant wine with a red for the red and for the white with a mineral style and with blend with different grapes like Claret, Grenache White and Roussanne in general. But it's small appellation with a nice future, I think, with a good winemakers. The total of the appellation is 1,088 hectares classified cru, and we are in total 140 wine grower and 52 domaine.
How is Grenache different here than other appellations? You can see Gigondas right from your vineyards. Châteauneuf-du-Pape is very close. I'm actually going to pour myself. So Vieille. How is Grenache different here in Cairanne?
The idea of the winemaker from Cairanne is to make an elegant Grenache. We don't try to find a big maturity. We don't try to try this. The idea is to keep the freshness, the tannin elegant, with the drinkability in the wine, with a not so high level of alcohol. That's very important.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed even before I came to visit, first of all, the vineyards really shocked me how high the vineyards are, the contours that you have to work with. I've always noticed that the overall quality has been higher in Cairanne than, for me, than Rastove and Sobre. Ventoux is right next door. The quality is so high in Cairanne.
It's difficult to compare the vin sobre and Rasto. Cairanne wine grower use different grapes for the blend. It's difficult to find a Cairanne with a 100% Grenache. It's pretty.
Yeah.
We must have minimum 2 grapes in the blend, but in general you can find a Cairanne with 3-4 grapes in a blend. But in general, it's a 60 Grenache, and we use Carignan, Mourvèdre, or Syrah. It's a complexity of different grapes and different terroirs. We have 3 different terroirs. We have a river in the middle of the appellation. That's very important for the climate, and at the same time to give a particularity of our wines.
I like white Cairanne a lot, but red is most commonly made. Grenache is the star. What other grapes are doing very well here? Like you have Carignan here.
We have a typical story about the Carignan in Cairanne, because you can find a Carignan in Gigondas. You explain to me about, we speak about Gigondas, we speak about Rasto. Carignan, we have the possibility to use in the percent of the each different winery to use maximum 30% of Cairanne. That's a specificity than the other appellations can't use. For example, in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, you can't find the Cairanne. In Gigondas, you can't find Cairanne. And we are very interested to keep the old Cairannes that we have in the vineyard of Cairanne. That's really important. In total, I think we have, on the appellation, we have more than 20% of Grenache, the vineyard in Cairanne.
The price quality in Cairanne is quite high. I mean, the wines are not so expensive from the quality. You were talking, you're hoping that the next generation moves that forward.
We start to be Côte-du-Rhône village, Cairanne, in 1967.
Yeah.
After we arrived to became Cru in 2016. It's a big difference for the future generation. The young winemaker work with us because the future is for the Cru of the Rhône Valley, I think. I compared all the time with the sport. For example, you have different division.
Yeah.
You have the third level, second level, and the first division is the best. Now we have access to the first division. That's very important to be the best, one of the best in the first division. In France, we play rugby. It's a top 14, and we have a soccer. It's Ligue 1. I compared all the time with this. And we have started at the end of the table. The table. Now we arrive, I think, in the top 5, maybe.
Well, for
with humility, I think we arrive now in the top 5. But the process and the jobs that we do every year is to access one of the best place of the first level. For division, first division.
Yeah, so I agree. Like if you say Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Gigondas is the first division.
Yeah.
I think Cairanne is for me very high. It's right up there, and hopefully, that picks up over the years.
And another thing, it is important in France when you want to become a Cru. It's a very long process. It's a big difficulty with the French administration, with the French Ministry of Agriculture. You ask to the French Ministry, and you must wait more than 10 years and 12 years. It's a very long process. Now we are Cru. That's more important. A Cru for the white and for the red. The red is it's 94% of the production. The white is just 6%. But the production of the white go up every year. We don't have enough white.
That's all the case for down here, down south. What the last thing is Cairanne, which is interesting for me, is the styles of wines are really diverse because you only need to do 2 grapes. You can have more grapes.
Yeah.
How would you describe the typical Cairanne red wine?
In Cairanne, we have 3 different terroirs. That's really important to know that because in general, when you taste a Cairanne, in general, it's a blend of 2 minimum or 3 different terroirs. That's really important to give a complexity of the wine in the wine. After they use different grapes. It's impossible to find 100% Syrah for Cairanne or 100% Mourvèdre. It's prohibited. In general, it's a blend of Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre, Carignan. Sometimes Cinsault. That's very important for give drinkability, give elegance. And after, what's the style of Cairanne red? For me, a good Cairanne red is the first time the color is not important. It's better for the customers when he have a look about his glass. Have an idea about the colors. That's important. Okay, but for me, it's not important. You can taste many wines in the world. It's Clos, not Grenache, and it tastes well. But
you're not drinking color.
Exactly. After it's more in general, when you smell a glass of Cairanne, you smell spicy with black fruit. And after for the mouth, in general, you find the spice another time. Yeah. And you want to find elegant tannin when you drink Cairanne. You don't want green tannin, aggressive tannin, full body wine. It's not a profile about Cairanne style. That's the style of Cairanne. Elegant, spicy, black fruit, long in the mouth, but not aggressive. And a wine with a big potential for aging, but not with a full body wine with concentrate wine. Now, we don't make the wine in this way. We make the wine with a small maturation, long maturation with no intervention, no pigeage now, with classic maceration. Like used my grandfather maybe 50 years ago. The nature makes the process, and the grapes are concentrated naturally. It's not necessary to move the cap of the berries. It's not necessary now. The nature gives to us grapes very small, very concentrated. Nature makes the job, and the terroir makes the job.
I think you would describe that perfectly, because Côte de Rhône sometimes can be simple and no tannin, just water.
Yeah.
And then you can have big wines in the Southern Rhône with too much tannin. The Cairanne, the tannins are there, but they're just pleasant.
Yeah,
and they're very nice.
that's very important. Elegant. That's the idea about big part of the winemaker of the appellation.
Well, good luck to the future Cairanne, because I've been a big fan for a long time.
It's the beginning of a process for access to the first place of the first division. First division. Thank you. Thank you to take time and for your interest about the appellation of Cairanne. Thank you very much, Matthew. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pretty crazy from our clubhouse days. Finally meet in real life. This is awesome. I'm at the Caveaux du Cairanne. We tasted some of these wines already, and I picked the ones that were, to me, I guess, showed interest. You have how many wines on offer?
80 different ones. The biggest part is red wines, because the production of whites is always around 6-7% in this whole area. We have a good amount of white wines.
This first one, Opale, Loic, Massart, Cairanne 2022. The cepage here, this is Grenache Blanc, Claret, and Roussanne.
Yeah,
this is not aged in wood, right?
A little bit, but not too much. Domaine Les Chemins de Serve. It's a pretty small domain in the appellation, around roughly 10 hectares. He works together with his wife. They all work together.
Yes.
And it's made of Grenache Blanc, Claret, and Roussanne. And it's organic. A lot of wines are organic in Cairanne, and also in the appellation rules, organic winemaking is already incorporated.
Yeah.
So even when a winemaker is not certified, he needs to follow a lot of organic rules.
Cairanne whites, what do you tell people to look for?
What a wine is for? Is it for an aperitif, or they want to eat with it? Do they like wines or aged in barrels or not? It's difficult to say in Cairanne what is a typical flavor of the appellation. Yeah, you have so much diversity in terroir, in grape varieties, and also in how the winemaker is working in the vineyards, but also in the cellar. How does he age his wines? So I ask for the occasion, then I let people taste different things which fits to what they want, and then they make a choice what they like, and they buy it.
That's the thing about Cairanne. To me, the wine quality is super high, but there's not like a uniform style, right? The white grapes, what are the traditional white grapes you use? Grenache Blanc, Roussanne, Marsanne, Claret,
Bourboulanc, and Viognier. That are the 6 varieties. The main varieties are Claret, Grenache Blanc, and Roussanne. And on the side you see cuvées which use Bourboulanc, Viognier, or Marsanne.
And the whites you have to use at least 2, just like the reds.
Formally, within the rules, look at the bottle 3, but there's a rule on the side which looks at the total amount of vineyards. And if all your vineyards with white varieties are within the rules, you can play a little with the varieties.
And the red is Grenache Syrah, Mourvedre.
Yeah.
Counois, Cinsault, and Carignan.
Yeah.
I got
You learn fast.
big 6.
Yeah.
This smells like some of the Grenache Blanc I get out of the Roussillon. Kind of limey, yogurty. You definitely have the wood, but it's not too much.
No.
That's just like a big round Southern Rhône white. Soft. It's not too acidic. And let's go on to
very affordable.
Yeah, that's the thing about Cairanne. How much is that wine?
This one is €15.50. So probably in the US just below or
$25 maybe.
Yeah.
Find it. This is the Domaine Alary, the Les Estevenas 2023, Claret, Roussanne, Grenache Blanc. And Alary is the most famous producer here, or one of the most famous.
Yeah, one of the more famous ones. It's an old wine family, Alary. This domain exists in 1692 in the same family, so the 11th generation today. And they using this cuvée Claret and Roussanne. The name Les Stevenas refers to the terroir. So you have in the big mountain terroir, you have a smaller part of terroir with the name Estevenas.
Okay.
That's where the grapes are growing. And the 11th generation is Jean-Etienne Alary. He studied in Burgundy, so he likes a fresher style. So they are in the beginning part of the harvest, mostly beginning September.
There's definitely limey and flinty. I don't want to say it's Chardonnay. It's maybe if you were to say we're going to be more Chablis on the nose, it's quite fresh, but
yeah, there's a nice nose. It is a nice freshness, a nice minerality, and but it's also expressive in the mouth. So it's
what I love about Rhône whites are the uniqueness. I love the limey flavors, the slaty flavors. And this is also an affordable wine because it's like 13 euros, right? Beer in the shop.
15.
That's the reason you wanted to move here.
A lot of sunshine, good wines, and affordable also. A very good price quality balance.
Were you drinking Cairanne before you moved here?
Yeah, I knew the appellation, but not as good as I know it today because I learned a lot in the past years. And it's an appellation which, also me as a wine lover surprised me because of the big diversity. If you look at diversity in the terroir, but also in the grape varieties, the way winemakers are working. There are a lot of very high quality winemakers in the village. So it's very interesting.
I like that you kept pushing me to come visit because I've wanted to for a long time because I like the wines of Cairanne, and it's great to taste an overview like today. We tasted a lot of like 30 wines here. This is the Domaine Rabasse Charavin Cairanne 2023. First one was more oaky, more generous. The Alary is more crisp, more Rhône, and I just plain out like this wine.
For me, it's important to say I didn't make a selection of what are my favorites, but I made a selection of let you understand the diversity of the wines of Cairanne. So we started with a very traditional blend, looking at the rules of the appellation. Then we went to a 2-variety wine with Claret Roussanne, which are very popular grape varieties here in the region. And then now a totally different blend with 45% Claret, 40% Bourg Blanc, and 15% Viognier, which gives
it gives a little bit of spice. Now I remember because we tasted so many wines. It was a little bit oily.
It's oily, but it's also more floral notes. The Viognier is always expressive as well in the nose as on the palate.
I think like this is super complex wine. Is it the same price range, like 15 euro?
16.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, we were in the same range, so 15, 15.50, 16.
That's also, I'm going to drink a little bit. That the quality, this is a lot better than actually us back in the day talking on Clubhouse too, but actually tasting side by side.
Yeah, we didn't see each other. We only had audio. Clubhouse is now dead since COVID went away, but during COVID we had a great time talking about wine and not seeing each other, but be in contact with other wine lovers.
Which red should we taste first?
This is a 23. I think one of the advantages of Cairanne is that you can drink the wines already young because they're very fruit forward. The tannins are very elegant and fine, so not harsh.
The Domaine, Clos, Romane, Cairanne. I remember this is the last one we tasted, 2023. Pure Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre.
Yeah, it's a classic blend. So they call it the GSM blend. So at least you need to try one of those. A family estate in the village.
And I remember how much I loved this wine because this is Grenache. It's got the purple fruits. It's got the strawberry. It's a little bit floral. Yeah, just a tad meaty. It just smells. It's just like a nice wine. And then you told me the price, and it was crazy.
14.
Yeah, we're really breaking the bank here. This wine to me, you won't have any much as reference for it because you're more specialists in the Rhône and in Europe. But these are kind of what the GSM blends in California can be. Some high quality ones, and in the kind of mid-tier American wines are pretty expensive still, but it's just so smooth. Got a lot of blue fruits. It's just, I love that wine to death. And for 14 euros,
that is
killer.
Yeah, of course, and in the Southern Rhône appellation, you have 9 cru villages. So Cairanne, Vinsobre, Rasteau, Gigondas, Vacqueras, Boom de Venise, Directa, Vel, and Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Of course, Châteauneuf-du-Pape and Gigondas are the most famous too. But even an expert like James Suckling wrote last year that Cairanne is, after those 2 famous ones, the most promising one on the 3rd place.
That's what I believe too. That's why I love the wines of Cairanne. Let's go on to
2022. This is his traditional wine. 4 varieties: Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, and Carignan.
And this wine, and it's also
13 euros. Yeah.
it's so because this is like Côte du Rhône village money or high-end Côte du Rhône, but you're getting a cru from the Southern Rhône. These wines have pedigree. They're delicious. You know, it was a Côte du Rhône village since 67, right? Then it became its own AOC in 2016. Is that right?
Yeah, since 2016, a cru village. In some cases, the prices are similar with winemakers in the Côte du Rhône villages. So
Grenache, to me, can act Burgundian, quote unquote. Now we're tasting this the second time. Now we're more focused on it.
yeah,
To me, I definitely get the leather, the raspberry note. This smells great. I mean,
yeah. And in the start, you have the freshness, the fruit, and then at the backside of the palate, some other flavors are coming up, like what you described.
yeah, it sounds spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, for a wine that's €13, $14 US, that's insane. I mean, if I was tasting this and evaluating and scoring, it'd be like a 92 point type of. It's for €13. That is killer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a little sip. That's really good. How many wines does Alary make?
He has 2 white Cairannes, the one you tasted, and he has another one which is big majority claret.
Yeah.
Then he has, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 red ones. The winemakers we have here in the shop can place 2 different ones, a maximum and 1 magnum. So I don't have everything. I know everything because I've tasted them all. And sometimes they change. During winter time, some of the winemakers place a little bit more tannin-rich wine, and in the summer more easier to drink wines.
Yeah.
So that's also nice that we have some variety during the year.
So this is the Domaine Roche. Now, you told me this is 100% Grenache, but
Almost 100%. So the big majority is Grenache. Cuvée Marcel Roche 2023. We just received it. Marcel Roche is the father of the winemaker Romain Roche. He was born in 1945, and that year the Grenache was planted. So it's this year 80 years old, and it's so old Grenache with Grenache concentration on the Carrique terroir, which has a lot of Provençal herbs, so it gives spices to the wine, and it's aged in a normal cube, so no oak is used. So you really taste the pure Grenache from the pure Carrique terroir, which is it's a marriage between.
Grenache is my second favorite red wine grape.
I know your first. It's not a French one. I remember.
Yes. What do you think about this wine?
I think it's very difficult to find in this price point, so between 15 and 20 euros, Grenache wine, which really tasted like this one. Personally, I think if you really want to explore Grenache, it's very nice to try it. But I try a lot of Grenache wines, and I think it's very well made.
It's super good.
Yeah,
It's got the big strawberry flavors. It's leathery. It's really spicy. It's complex. Usually you get a Grenache in this type of price point. It's good, but it's simple. It's just like fruit and simple. This has complexity, man. What's the alcohol? 50, and it's not a shy wine. 15% alcohol.
No.
That is good, man.
Grenache loves sunshine, produces a lot of sugar, so also a little bit more alcohol than other grape varieties, but we don't taste that.
I did a tour of the vineyards earlier, thanks to you, with Laurent Brusset. I was amazed because Cairanne and Rasteau, Gigondas as well, they stick out because they're on big hills, and then you have the Southern Rhône, the plains. And I was really amazed, the contours and stuff of the different terroir of Cairanne. The problem is you don't make a ton of wine, only 1,000 hectares. You don't make,
No, it's enough. It's always a challenge to sell it, of course. But it's if you compare with Chateauneuf, which is 3,500 hectares, and so Cairanne is 1/3. Chateauneuf is as big as the whole Northern Rhône.
Yeah.
It's a decent size, and we have roughly 50 producers here in the village, which is a lot and very good ones. So it's very nice.
What do you see? Because you're a wine lover first, and you are retired, quote unquote. When tourists come here, you said it's difficult to sell, but
No, it's not difficult to sell, but in general, in the world of wine,
that's what I meant.
you see the consumption is going down. There's a lot of production, and so it's not an easy world. But okay, I think Cairanne is very well positioned in that difficult world because of the price quality balance is so good.
It's actually one of the more underpriced regions I've ever been to. I mean, it's really because you have a lot of competition here in the Southern Rhône. I guess the point I was getting to, when the tourists come here, they taste, or visitors,
Yeah.
they're pretty amazed, right?
Absolutely. I get a lot of international tourists here, especially also from the United States. When they ask me the price, and I'll tell them, they think, wow. So most people from the United States who come here can't bring a lot of wine home.
Yeah.
So then we talk, and okay, what was your favorite? We look online. Okay, you can find it here in the US, there, and most of them send me notes afterwards. I found it, and thanks. And so
That's a rewarding part of the job. That's the good retirement plan, right?
yeah. I lived in the Netherlands, so the weather is here better, the wines are here better, and it's nice. I always love wine, and I was always a guy in a restaurant that gave the wine list to you choose you choose the wine, because I always had a little bit more knowledge than average, and then I made my profession out of it now, and but I'm still the wine lover of 20, 30 years ago when it all started.
You're so enthusiastic.
Yeah, and my parents were already Rhone lovers, so I was growing up with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My parents were Rhone lovers, and I remember. I think I was 12 when I for the first time saw a bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape with the weapon, the bottles with the weapon. So as you see over there, I love those weapons in the bottle, and I think I was 12 when I for the first time nipped a little bit of wine from the Rhone. So that's where the love has started.
Oh, it's in your blood.
Yeah, almost.
The Domaine, Jubain, Trémère.
I selected this one not because it's my favorite, or one of my favorites, but I selected it because I like them all, and I represent all of the winemakers. But I selected this one because of the unique combination of varieties. It's 50% Grenache and 50% Carignan. The Carignan is probably 120 years old, or maybe older. It's probably the oldest Carignan in the world, it's an expression again of the big diversity in this appellation.
This is the most unique out of the rotation. Actually, I can't take too many bottles because I think this is what I've got. This is very unique. At first, I thought it was volatile acidity, but it's not. It was that wildness of Carignan.
Yeah.
With strawberry, like that stemminess, like that. Well, it's meaty. This is a complete. How much is this wine?
Also 15. Yeah, it has a good tannin structure. Can age easily. We had an event a few weeks ago where the winemaker was here, and he brought a 2015, which was delicious.
Was it still fresh fruit? Because these Southern Rhône wines, sometimes, like we talked about, we like Chateauneuf younger.
Yeah.
The fruit can dry out and become stewed, but the fruit stayed pretty fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we agree on that. We like to drink wines in a window between 3 and 6 years.
For Chateauneuf, that is.
Yeah, for Chateauneuf. But in general, I like to drink wines younger, so the fruit is fresh and there's a very good balance. But this was very nice in 2015. Very good in balance.
At this price point, you would expect industrial wine. This wine is character. It's unique.
Yeah.
It's complex. That's why, that's what you're getting. And we're drinking all these young. Really young.
Yeah.
Except this last one here. But man.
Yeah, but Cairanne is a good quantity old wines. And old wines give even to a younger wine more character than young wine. So I must say this is a wine for real lovers.
It's definitely a wine geek wine. Let's go on the last one because I sell one of the entry level at my shop. This is the most.
Oh yeah. This is a little bit special. It's the most expensive wine I have in the shop.
The Domaine Cros de Romet.
Yeah, it's a small winemaker. Alain Boison is his name. He makes 2 cuvées, a traditional one which you sell in the shop, and this is his top cuvée. He only makes in very good years 1 demi-muit, which is a barrel of 600 liters. So he makes 800 bottles in those years. This is 2019. Also majority Grenache, so nice to compare with the other one because this is other terroir, more on the high coast side alongside the river where the mountain terroir is starting, with blue calcar, sandy soil, also almost 80 years old Grenache.
And the cuvée, the cepage is Grenache and
A little bit other things in it. And like you also see in Châteauneuf, where there are parcels and plant dies, and then they put another variety in between.
when they say mostly Grenache and other grapes. That's what they say.
Yeah. And because also in Châteauneuf, where you have the 13 varietal wines, mostly 85% is Grenache, and then you have all the other varieties which are planted in between.
I have to say now that this is another lesson on wine being open. I didn't love this wine when we first tasted this wine. It was unique. It's 2019, but I really like it now. That's why you gotta give wines a little bit of time.
Yeah, but this one you need really to open up. We just opened it up, but you really need to open it up 3-4 hours before you start drinking. But that's also nice when you buy a bottle like this. You open it, you taste a little bit, then you wait a few hours, you taste again. You wait a few hours, you wait again, and then the next day, that's
It's like black olive meat, like steamed plum.
so it has been aged in these barrels for 2 years. It's another style of the Grenache than we tasted before, which is more on the fruit, fresh side. This is a wine a lot of people think it's a Chardonnay du Pape.
No, you're right. When you said, I remember you said blind. At first on nose, I was like, no, it's too oaky. It's not, the oak has kind of went away, but on the palate, it actually on the nose, it feels stewed, but on the palate, it's fresh fruit. It's elegant. It's really spicy. I know exactly what you're saying. Wonderful wines. What else do you think people really need to know about?
What they really need to know is how it tastes. So I would say come by when you're in the neighborhood here, if you live here or you're on holiday, make a stop and taste the wines. That's the best proof of what we thought.
The proof's in the glass.
The proof is in the glass.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Dank je.
Merci.